I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 7, Monday, 2024. Hope you had a good weekend. So let's go back to this understanding when I made this video on the 30th, approximately 8 days ago. So we said we would come down, come up, then retrace back. So this is where we are as far as time goes. This is a possibility of retracing back. So once you're looking at this, when we came down, we pushed back up, and then we never broke this high. So we stopped here, and then we rolled over, and now we're kind of like here. So this could be that bottom that we were looking for, actually for the whole fourth quarter, to be honest. So with that understanding, when you see it here, it'll make more sense. So this is October right here at the beginning. We came down, we came up, we stopped here. We took out previous day, we took out Friday's high, and then we never came up and took this out, right? So basically what I'm saying is like here, if you take a look at it, it's kind of like this is what we've done so far when we came up here. So the thing is the possibility of a new week starting. You have a possibility of it retracing. Obviously, even if it's bullish or bearish, the reason why is because it's the wick of the week. You expect to sell off on Monday in general speaking. Now, at the same time, it's an accumulation day of the week. So if we look at the whole week, Monday is an accumulation day. Then we look at Tuesday as maybe a manipulation day. Then we look at Wednesday as a distribution day, right? And then maybe the following day is a consolidation day. The general gist is that this is possibly the wick of the week, right? So that being the case, this pullback was suspect. For example, what we're talking about here. See this low right here? So when you were here at 9:30, you're like, oh man, I can see both sides. I can see another leg coming down to wipe out some liquidity, get back to these gaps, and build the low of the week, which would be Monday in general speaking. Your highest probability is between Sunday and Monday, technically. So, sometimes Tuesday, but really Monday. We'll just call it that, right? So that being said, here, if you do the projections here, let me try to, there's a lot to talk about. I'm trying to make this simple, but if you do the projection here of this last swing down and you come up, when we were at 9:30 and also happens to be, so 9:30 is a lot to say, but 9:30 happens to be a very either great trending day or it's going to be something like this in that case. So right away so before I get to the extension here, I'm going to just mention the days. So how did you know it was going to be a shitty day? Well, you got an imbalance right here, for example, right? And then we shake out, we take the high there, and then we take the low right there. See that? See, we come underneath those lows. So right there, it's already like, okay, it's a little early for some manipulation. And then what do? We push up with this 9:30 right here. We push all the way up here. There's a wick. You can't maybe see it. We push up here, and then we come back down, right? So right there, it's like, okay, we got a speaker going on. So you already know what type of day it is, right? This in itself is already the heads up. Why? Because, well, I mean, if it was going to keep buying, we would see bullish imbalances respect. We would see down candles respect, and we would just kind of flow right to that 50% of the opening range gap right away. So what do we get? Well, we came low, okay, and then we came up, all right, and then we came low again. So this is called a high resistance run where no bodies here. It's literally pulling right back. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's pulling right back into the range. It's pulling right back when it takes liquidity. So like when we came down here, what do? We came back up here. And then we get these wicks like this and it shuts down. And so this is by here you should know not to mess with it. But in general speaking, holding for this 50% can be still a good idea if you understand what was happening here with these, couple drives down, 3 drives down. So in the sense that they didn't really take some of this pool of liquidity lower. See this right here? We don't take this liquidity here Got some right there, but this right here is like damn near equal, right? So that being the case, we when we make this lower low here, and you don't see we're not on oversold. Nothing is really, if you look at a 5 minute, I'm gonna go back and forth with the five because the five was key as well. Where are we here? So you can see on the look at this right here. Like we're already pretty much like getting these divergences here. We're kind of on the top side of it. We're not breaking above. Like if you watch price enough, you'll understand that this is kind of like, okay, well, this is just kind of like possibly the lower low to lower high, right? So in this leg retracing back down, which is from here to here, and look how we tapped right above that previous day high. Remember, we're still getting stuck by these gaps. We didn't break through these gaps. So I'm freestyle talking right now. So just allow me to do that. But you can see here we wick right back in, bodies on below the previous day high. We're stuck in that top gap. I mean, you could see that very clear. And then when you get this break below here, here's a shift here, low, and then if a leg is gonna get formed from this high to this low, right? You're gonna see a lower low, lower high, lower low, right? That's how it would look like. So I understood this possibility as well, and that's what they did. And then once they retrace back, so now you can do this a couple of ways. You're gonna be like, well, on Friday, you measured from here to here and retraced, and this was a 61, and you bought, and then it came up. Yes, that's true, but you also have to understand that this is also possible. So let me do it like this here. So, where are we at? So if you look at this right here, can I move it over maybe? This is how the videos get long. Okay, so right there, beautiful. So it's a lot to talk about in this video. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so now it's planted on this lower time frame. So right here, the 61's right here, and then we have the 70 right here. Take a look. You see how we hit there? So you also have to understand that the main range, where did I do this from? From here or here? Yeah, right here is where it's supposed to be. So again, this is fractal and there's so much. So as far as structure goes, this is retail structure as well. But when you're pushing up, right, you will get these higher highs, higher lows for the higher low to a higher high. And then it'll retrace. We're just talking it for bullish, and then it'll retrace back 2 legs down and get to a retracement. So at this point, you're like, "What the hell is price doing?" But in reality, if I'm trying to make this very simple here, this is what I'm trying to say. From here to here to here to here. This is kind of like what I'm trying to depict. But I understand that what it would look like, and it looks confusing, obviously. But look where we went to. Went to a 70, and I'll explain a little more here now. So here, so when we knowing that's a possibility. Now here's the thing. Now this was the higher low you were looking for, right? Because technically, right, this is a higher low, and then this came up for a higher high. But look how it rejected and it came right back into the range. So to me, it's kind of like still a part of this master range, right? Or control range, I should call it. Maybe that master's not a good word. Okay, so that understanding, and then retrace back, you get the lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So that also being said, what was I gonna say? So if this is gonna fail, this is what I'm expecting it to look like if it failed, right? And if it didn't fail, okay, fine. That's let me go back to the 1 minute, but well, before I do, you can see the price action sitting up top here, and then slowly trickling back down. So now we're on an oversold here, and I caught this buy right here. I'm actually in this buy now. But why did I take this buy? And I'm double leveraged. Why? The reason why is because of this. So, was it gonna fail or not? And I'm looking for this higher low here in this situation. And this is pretty much, to me, this is pretty much it. Now, if it fails, then I'm expecting maybe one more drive down, and that would probably come in and maybe take out these lows, the Asia lows from Friday. Let me get some water here. So, well, technically the beginning of Thursday, but it's the Friday candle. So, as you see, we're pushing up. But okay, so there's so much to talk about. So here, right here, you're getting these speaker out. You getting this. You getting this. You getting this speaker for sure. I mean, you can't miss that, right? You see that? You see this? You see this right here on the right side too? See the right side? So if you caught the third drive here, which is, I actually did catch this, but I did catch both of these losses actually. That loss and that loss. So when it rated down, I knew exactly what time it is. So the price pushes up, and then this 956, we raid right back into that wick. So I'm still holding the bias here to hold it for this 50%, just so you could get an idea and see what it looks like. So when this comes down, this candle, and it gets into this 50%, damn near, I missed it, but I understood the idea. Right when it's shooting back up in here, that's when I get filled. So I'm on the right side, right? So I'm not on the left side, I'm on the right side. So I'm holding it literally to that 50% because I understand with that projection, if you take a look here, that projection I was talking about, if you take a look, it's to the 2 to 2.5. The 2.5 is sitting right where it is. And this is the issue with this area, is that if it's weak, it's going to stay on the lower half of the opening range gap. Number one. Number two, the possibility if it breaks for a lower low underneath this low. Number three, you're at 2 to 2.5. You're at a reversal area. Number four, you also have got into this imbalance right here. See this imbalance? And this could be an actual control of an imbalance. This one right here, this 3:15 in the morning, right, a.m. So how so anybody who broke through here, yes, they tried to get him here, but this was like the algorithm is looking to wipe out like those late breakout traders. So they come conveniently right above here. But again, we're at the 2 to 2.5. So we're struggling here. And then if it's going to break lower, I have a projection from here to here. Now you might be asking why right there. Well, you could have done this a number of ways, but I'm looking at where's the most energetic price action, leaving the low to break into this high to make the high, right? So as you see here, this candle and that candle, you see how these three bullish candles start pushing up? Well, that's really the start of that move, and I'm using this, and it's relative, right? You're not going to get it perfectly. The price action is ugly. It's not, the price action is actually really bad. So when this is happening, you got to take the profit, because you're sitting here trying to hit a home run to get above here, which, I would have liked to come up here to the 3.5 to the 4, wipe out that liquidity, and seal the opening range gap. Plus we have the new week gap. But same time, we have CPI this week. It's a Monday, so it's just going to be a very manipulative week. I mean, excuse me, let me get some water here. So, what do we do? So this first imbalance that we get right here, this 942, is dragged all the way out, right? And you can see we're up, or above it, below it, above it, below it. But when it really works, or when it really starts, so you have this shitty price action, you understand that the PM session is probably going to be where the move happens, right? But even taking this was I knew to leave this alone, right? But at the same time, I understood the speakering out. But with those couple extra drives, I was like, oh, you fucking bastards. But you remember, and I'm not looking to sell here either, right? But the logic is that the Monday, we understand that of this type of week, we understand that we're gonna get manipulated down. It's generally the case, but so what do? We bounce right from that 942 first 1 minute candle imbalance. We bounce from there. We come right back to the 50. We come underneath it. Now we're coming over here. We're struggling. Now watch this. Now most people would say, dude, this is nice liquidity built. I mean, and here's the thing with this algorithm. They'll do this for retail just so they can get in. They need people in these trades right here. So they're literally telling you like, hey, you come in and sell with us, and you're gonna get rewarded. So, and that's the logic. So the thing is at the same time, I would never take a sell because of the fact that it is built liquidity. But here's the thing. Who they're making it very easy for sellers to get in, and they're making it very hard for buyers to get in. So at the end of the day, the funny thing is that they'll do this, like as you see this built liquidity there, right? Yeah, we're aiming for it, and we're probably still going to come get it. But the point of what I'm saying is that that's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's the trick that they put on display, right? So, but sometimes you don't want to be smarter than you should, and you could just be allowing the to follow the price action, right? Following is different than chasing, right? But here, when we get this breakthrough here, this right here, we also have divergences happening. So it's kind of, I gotta go back and forth with all this. There's a lot to talk about, but right here, once we get underneath here and we blow through it, now we make a lower low from here, right? So now, but we didn't break that high, which I understand. But if you were to be ahead of it, take a look here, right? We're at 50% on the RSI. See that? So this is very common, man. This is very common where they bump against the 50% and then they drag it down real hard, which is sitting right here. Now the 5-minute was also in a very similar story. Let's take a look at the 5-minute, and you'll see. All right, we got bodies closed. Look at, I mean, this candle says it all right here. Plus, we have, look at that liquidity right there. See that? So the issue with the issue with this area is that it didn't take out like one of these swing lows right here, right? You see how they got close to that? So this is also a factor that you might see the price rushing through. And if you take a look at the time frame, it's now the new 4-hour candle that opens up. But when you do the projection from here to here on the 1 minute, you go back to the 1 minute, but you can see here, see this how we're underneath that 50%, and then they just shoot it down for now it gets oversold. And then if you're asking how to buy this, well, besides the 2 and a 2.5 extension right here, I also have the previous day opening gap, which was Friday. See this Friday right here? This was this zone right here. There, let me move in. See that? See this red right here? So this right here is also, so there's a gap in the background, obviously, right? And we have that gap right there. So they came and they referenced that. Now they didn't take this low out because someone holding the bag here or trying to buy is waiting for this level to get hit. So on a bearish day like that, it doesn't have to hit that low. Now they already took out the Friday's high, but they can dangle that carrot and leave it, and I think that's what they're gonna do. But and that's why I took the buy anyway. I took it here because besides being the 2 to 2.5 and hitting that Friday opening gap, look at the 5-minute here. So we've made a video recently when someone was asking, like, how do you know to catch the bottom here? How would you attract that? Well, if you look at the 15-minute, it's just 2 drives down, right? But on the 5-minute, it's also 2 drives down too. But the point is that look at the divergence. Look at that right there. I was waiting for this. Literally, you get the higher lows here. Boom. Took that shit right here. I'm filled like literally right down here. So I'm hoping that this obviously goes through. But the thing is that this is more of a positioning trade. So I ask myself, I have a notepad to the side and saying like, well, is this a trade that could potentially be a higher time frame holding trade? And obviously, yes, as you know that I'm showing you the 15-year data, that this low right here that we are making right here, not taking out that low. Remember, that's what's key. Not taking out this low, but we're making a higher low. That's what it looks like. So I'm so right here, that's the low, and then we retrace back to that higher level. Now this CPI could obviously wick that down and take this out. We could have a divergence happening here with another asset and then go up, right? So I don't really know, but I'm shooting this shot though, because I am sitting at an important middle gap. And there was something else I wanted to say. Plus, I might even take it out once we get back up here, right? If you take a look at clean break here, but you see how they did this though, up and back and down, up and down, up and down right here. So that's not good for the trade. But what was I trying to say? Well, the purpose of this is so they can then rush lower right here. So everyone got fair delivery here, and buyer's remorse is what I'm talking about. But yeah, man. So going into this, you'll see the other reason why I had took this buy here is because we have a lower low with Dow. And then we have higher lows here with S&P and NAS. So I'm expecting to now rush, not this second, but and it's the end of the day. So that's the other big reason why, because I know what they do. They be on that bullshit. I make videos all the time. Look when I caught this low is the 340, right? So we're in the power hour here, and they're doing it at the end of the day. So who is in the market here? Well, it ain't no buyers, right? It's only sellers. And when did the sellers get profitable? Which is also in the PM session. So you know what I'm saying. So like this is just a strategy logic that we discuss here, and it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? But I'm hoping we don't come and take this low out. I'm in great profit right now actually, but I'm hoping that to be the low, and then keep going. And if they do come for one more time, then that means they wanted to take out this low right here. I'm not even going to discuss these lows here. I'm just going to talk about Friday's low, which is those Asia's lows right there. I'm expecting a buy up back once we reach that, unless CPI kicks in and we have, or FOMC on Wednesday, and then fucking decides to shoot down here, right? But let me go back to this. So this is the higher time frame. This is a 1 hour I'm doing this on. Let me go to a 5 minute real quick. I want to be done. And let's see here. So when we were slowly pushing up here to that 50% of the gap, we did have higher lows right here from this swing here. See this area right here. So Nas already took them out, and that was why I was confident in buying at first to get to that 50% range when we had higher lows here. So and then S&P also took out these lows right here. I'm talking about Friday's at 135. See that? So that was the catalyst of going up, and then we also here we had higher lows here with Dow. And then we had lower lows here with S&P and NAS. See that? And this is the reason why I'm catching this buy right here to show you. But see that? And then when we were up here, we had a nice little divergence here on S&P. S&P made a higher high here, and then Dow made lower highs here, and then so did NAS. So this was that sell. So if I go to it, we're talking here. Yeah, right, 11:30, right? Yeah. But watch this. This is what's the part that's crazy. Yeah, 11:30 right there. So the other factor here, which was here's manual intervention at its finest. Look at fucking Nvidia. Look how they pushed that shit all the way up. Look at that. They didn't take out this high now. So they pushed all the way up and we were coming down. Come on, man. You're all full of shit. They're full of shit. And also if I look at but we had bonds shooting down, taking out some liquidity, and yields were shooting straight to hell up, and they're still facing that direction. So I'm assuming we're gonna get a nice turnaround now. Take a look there. Yeah, we're still there, but we'll see what happens. And then dollar also made a nice pump up too as well, right? So, oh no, yeah, no, they're consolidating, not helpful at all. But they did get into this area here, so we'll see if this dollar come down from here maybe reaching an overbought area here. Do they then reverse, come back down more, or is this just going to be the pump and we come down? So I don't know that question, obviously. And then if we look at Dow, they just they just wiped out that pool right there. So they wiped out the previous. So they wiped out the previous week's low, and then they left that there. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting here. We'll see here. Let me look at S&P. This is a good sign. We had that divergence then, and this could be the higher low. I'm hoping that that's the case because they've already made it. Look how ugly they made this already. It's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Yes, they could be building liquidity here, and yes, FOMC and CPI can definitely come down one more time. So that's why you gotta really take it easy. But I'm expecting this to hold, and then I'm expecting to trickle up. So, and at minimum, if I don't know if I'm gonna be a chicken shit and get out, but my minimum target would like it to be here, this low right here that we broke through from London's low right there. Well, it's actually not London, it's pre-New York, but yeah, we'll just call it the end of London right there. So that makes sense to me. Also up here, that's another target right there, if we make it that high. And definitely right there, if you look on this 5 minute, that breakthrough right there, right through. So I can see that. We're almost there, but we'll see how it goes. But all this is nice liquidity. And remember, man, they're doing all this just so they can come back lower and wipe this out, man. That's all they do. Because so now, because at one point the algorithm is going to be like, well, I can't get everybody, right? So they're going to come down here and say, okay, well, fuck the pool down here, because we were in between two pools. We had this pool here when the price was at 930. We had this pool here, and then we had this pool here, right? So it's like, well, who are they going to come and get? Well, so they came down here. They can't come and get everybody down here, because if they come down and get everybody here, that means everybody here is still making money, right? So right now, who just made money? Let's ask that question. Well, very clear here and very clear here, right? So this is a nice pool and that's a nice pool. So, and then we can ultimately get to this high right here. So again, though, it's not bullish until it reaches this high, but we're anticipating that possibly with the fourth quarter 15-year data. So we'll see how this turns out, and I should be done. And let me see, is there anything else I want to mention here? Hold on, I'll put on pause. 27 minutes, damn. All right, so you'll see here that I'm in this position here, and I'm hoping that this imbalance here is going to invert right here. Need this to invert right here. All right, and I do a projection here. This all happened like obviously at the end of the day and while I was getting ready for the video, but that shit happens. I like this right here. Let's see. I could do it there. Nice. 3 to 4 up here. Takes all that liquidity out, gets us right to the previous week's high, which is very, very possible. We'll see how this goes. Got to monitor it here. Don't like it that there's this gap right here. I'll just draw it out. I know I've missed a ton of stuff on this video, but what am I gonna do, man? I don't know how to make shorter videos anymore. I really don't. That gap right there. So they do tag it right there. You see that? So which is fine. But I just wish they would have came a little bit lower. So we'll see how that goes. You can see this 1545 or the 345 candle shoots down into 50% of that wick after rating that wick, which is the 335. So hopefully we could just start pushing up here using this candle as support. This this 305 candle. See this 305 candle right here? This candle here. I want to see that. I don't want to see it break any lower than this, or 50% of that wick right here. This 355. Looks like the price is stuck. But yeah, man, we'll see. So you guys take care and God bless.